There's a significant gap between students whose first language is English and the Hispanic students in the United States. Thus, these students are tracking to a lower success rate, which later decreases their ability to achieve economically as well.
This disadvantage starts very early on. There are some 4 million Hispanic students in public schools whose primary language is not English.
As if this is not enough of a disadvantage, less Hispanic children attend preschool, leaving them even further behind in the learning curve. In the year 2009, only 48% of Latino children went to preschool, whereas 70% of Caucasian children and 69% of African American children attended. This leads to an education gap between these children at a very early age.
Cuando un niño latino entra al kinder, tiene más o menos entre 3 y 6 meses de rezago.
In 2009, 83% of fourth grade Hispanic students were not proficient in reading. In math, 78% of fourth grade Hispanic students were below proficiency.
De cada 10 hispanos que entran a la primaria, solamente uno va a salir con una educación superior.
Esta noche bailamos, te doy toda mi vida.
But in fact, girls are dropping out at high rates too, and especially girls of color. And this has a lot of serious consequences for girls.
This graph illustrates the considerable gap between Hispanics versus the total population in terms of educational level attained.
In order to narrow this educational gap, teaching institutions at the primary and college level must develop a more positive attitude about the potential of diverse students and students whose first language is not English. These institutions must bring attention to any policies or procedures that penalize certain races, cultures, sexes, or disabilities. Culturally insensitive reading materials and tests must be eliminated. Institutions should also allow students to engage in activities that will enhance the recognition of the cultural strengths of all diverse groups. In order to change the current institutionalized tracking of Hispanic female students, awareness and change needs to occur in the United States.